two questions. The first question is, does this look like poppy? Like poppy flowers? THS 143. I thought if this was black and this was red, it looks like a poppy flower. And the second question is, how long can you sit in your craft room with a stencil in front of your eyes, approximately 25 centimeters away from your eyes, and stare at the stencil? How long? I mean, what is the maximum of time which is allowed to stare on a stencil? I have absolutely no idea, but I was sitting here for I don't know how long, and I have the feeling there's no other way to find out if this could work than to do it. And I'm really afraid, but I want to try that. I want to try to add some poppy flowers here, because when we made this, we lost the poppy flowers which have been here on the print, and I can't live with this cover when there's no poppy on the cover, because, I mean, what is this? It's my Poppyfield Avenue chunk journal. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take both of these, because I want to have two labels on this journal, one here on the front and the other one here on the spine. And I want to mask where they have to go. How do I need to do that now? I think we have to put this here, right? And then cut this out. Is this how it's supposed to do it? I have no idea. Because I want to work with texture paste in a second. And there where the labels are, can't be texture paste. I think this is good. Okay, so let's stay here. Let's take this and stick this down here to make sure that we don't put our texture paste there where the label needs to go. This is probably the weirdest way to measure this. I mean, what the heck? But it looks like it's on the same height, doesn't it? Okay, I will stop laughing in a second, I guess. So what are we going to do next? We are going to need, for my plan, some black texture paste. This is the texture paste Black Opaque by Tim Holtz and Ranger. And some opaque texture paste in white, which we then can tint with red. And additionally, I want to emboss the poppy flowers with embossing glaze. You could try using only the opaque texture paste, yeah, and don't tint it. What kind of magic is that? I'm so sorry. Holy cow. You could use this, okay, and then just put this on here and emboss it. But embossing glaze is translucent, so that means the red will probably turn out pastel-ish, and I want it really bam, yeah. And that's why I want to tint the paste first and then emboss the tinted paste. But I have no idea how much of the texture paste I need. But do you know what? I could imagine, if this works, that we make some poppy flowers in the journal as well. So I will use the rest of my paste here. So then a few drops of Lumberjack Plaid Distress Ink Re-Inker. How much? I don't know. Have you ever seen me tinting a paste? Perhaps once or twice. Looks very cool, and this is very satisfying, by the way. Okay, so this is probably way too much. I'm going to start with black here in the corner, and I'm trying to get this only, oh no, no, only to the center of the poppy. Okay, I'm going to take the red paste. Oh, the stencil is already a little bit wonky. I want to have this pretty thick because I think that looks better. But the challenge is, can't be too thick. And I don't want to have it there where the next flower on the stencil is. Because I only want this. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Because, wait, let me do it, because we can't let this dry completely, and then I will show you what I did. Let's try to save this here, because what I was hoping for is that I get a really thick and textured look, so that it looks dimensional somehow. And I want to do this pretty fast because I want to add the glaze here in a second, and for that this needs to be wet, still wet, so that the glaze can stick there. So I think the trick is to take this and start here on the outside, on, you know, where the flower ends, to make sure that it gets thicker there, like this. And then go like so to the center of the flower. That way it's thicker here, and it gets thinner the more we come to the center. Yeah. And I think I will now do the following thing. I will first throw my embossing glaze on here and emboss that before I go on with the next flowers. I think that is better because then I don't have to do that so fast for the next poppy flowers. So let's close this, because then it's done and nothing can happen with this anymore, because we have to make sure that this is still wet when we now add the glaze. Otherwise it will not stick to the paste. And now I want to try to get my glaze only here to the red paste and not necessarily to the black paste. If there would come a little bit to the black paste, that would be no problem, because yeah, it will not show up because it's translucent. I think that could also look even good. And I also think it's not so avoidable. Look. Oh, that's okay. I think that will look good in the end. It's okay. So let's just throw it on here. And now I'm going to melt the powder. Wait, hopefully it's not too late. We need to take this off first. Oh no. Take that off, please, okay? Take that off before you start melting the powder. And I think I will also add a second layer of the embossing glaze. Nice. Oh yeah, look, very nice. Oh, fuck. This happens when the fabric is too hot. But this also provides already something I wanted to do anyway, because I want the embossing glaze also in these open areas, because a poppy flower is not see-through there. Do you know what I mean? I am so happy that I did this. That looks absolutely cool. That looks absolutely cool. I think the camera can't even catch how cool it looks. Oh. It's the next day, and I'm really asking myself, how old do I need to become to remember that sometimes lumberjack plaid turns neon orange. I don't know how well my camera can catch that, but that is absolutely crazy. There where the glaze didn't hit these higher spots of the texture paste, it turned into this really crazy color. I mean, the color itself is okay, but to make this look like poppy flowers, it's, at least in my eyes, an absolute catastrophe. And because of that, I want to change that in a second. And the other thing is, I have the feeling the contrast is not high enough yet. It needs to be way darker in the center here. And I also don't like this stencil center anymore somehow. If this was like a field of only flowers, this would be totally fine for me. And I'm really, really happy how cool this turned out. I mean, I think I have never gotten such a texture from a stencil, and I'm really, really happy that this turned out like it turned out, and I've learned a lot. But it's not poppy flowers yet, and I want to change that now. But it's pretty early, so I need to warm up myself first. So what we are going to do is we are going to take these labels here first and attach them. And for that, I'm just holding them here. Just mark where this hole needs to go. Okay, so here we go. This already looks really cool. I really love how this came out. But no. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take the Black Suit Distress Crayon, a really tiny paintbrush, and then I want to try to get rid of the crazy color the lumberjack plaid has given us here. trying to decide if this is too dark or if it's okay, and especially I want to see how the color comes out, because this is a little bit, the crayon is now a little bit translucent because I don't want to bring a ton of the crayon on here. I thought black could be a good idea. I need red. I thought it would be good to have the black on here to give the whole thing more dimension. But that is, I think, not such a good idea. So let's try lumberjack plaid. But that looks somehow pretty cool when it's a little bit mixed with the black. Yeah, that is the solution. Now this crazy color is gone. And at the same time, it has somehow a little bit more dimension. So I will do that on all of these. First, I will look for these weird spots where the weird color is. I will go over that with my lumberjack plaid crayon. And then I think I will also add the tiniest little bit of the black soot, because I really like how this came out. So that we get a little bit more dimension on the petals. Now I'm happy. So then, when we have that, let's talk about the centers here of these poppy flowers. I have different options here. First, I thought I'd take these apart, because look, one of these layers here looks like this center part of it looks like this thing which a poppy has in the center, doesn't it? If you have perhaps these flowers, make them black and perhaps put them like so into the center. Then you would also have these little stamens here. Would look cool, I guess. Perhaps you have these, then you could even think about adding some of those around there to make it even more detailed or so. And I'm showing you that because I'm assuming that you don't have this. I don't even know what this is. But I will use these. These are plastic. Yeah, but I'm assuming you could find something similar made from metal or so. There are also, perhaps you know these things, which you could put on beads as an additional decoration. I think they are called bead heads or so. And then they go, if this is the bead, it goes on there like so, and then it's like a decoration. They are made from metal. I don't know what this is, but they are transparent and they are plastic. How to attach them here and how to make them dark. So I thought I wanted first try some alcohol ink. That should work on plastic. I mean, why shouldn't it work? But my problem is I don't have black alcohol ink. The darkest color I have is sepia. And I'm assuming that's too brown. But I will try it. Because perhaps with the layer of the texture paste underneath, it could be like an optical illusion, so that it perhaps looks black even if it isn't. And I also want to add these stamens there. I need my tweezers. And what I'm looking for is more a detailed center of those poppy flowers. Then I mean, I don't want to have it 100% realistic. Oh wow, somehow that looks really cool. Okay, so I will quickly make the others brown as well. And if I now would be really smart and especially fast, I could take my embossing powder. Where are my tweezers now? Oh no. And try to use the stickiness of the alcohol ink to dip this in here and then emboss it, hoping that this plastic will not melt. Oh no! Oh, we can make different shapes. Oh! Oh my goodness, look, we can we can make different shapes. That is cool. Oh my goodness, that looks, oh yes. Okay, but that is cool, but oh, but I think the powder is not, what's the past of melt? Molten. Oh, but it's on there. It's somehow on there. It's only the tiniest little bit, but oh, I can feel it. No, not really. The more I touch it, the more it comes off. Okay. Give me a second to think about this. First, let's see. Oh, yes, look. That is absolutely cool. Okay, how the heck can I get the tips of this black? We will do the following thing. We put this away. We take our heat tool. This is finished shape-wise. So we put that aside. We bring these into the shape we want them, / we melt them. And let's then just take some black acrylic paint. Ooh. Can I do that? And dip that just here on these tips of this. And when I touch them like so, I can see that it's just the right amount of black and the rest of the brown from the alcohol ink. I will do that here as well, because then it doesn't look so painted on the tips. Then we get a little flow color-wise with the other color of the alcohol ink. I want to do the following thing. Let's take this. Let's then take a little bit of collage medium. Put this here. Then I'm going to take my needle. I go through here with the thread. Then I go through the button and back through the second hole of the button. So then it's like this. And then I try to come back through this hole. So that then the button can sit in the center here. And it's now held by the thread and the glue. And I also think it looks a little bit better when here is something and not only the holes of the button. I will now let this dry, and I've just decided that I additionally make a little knot here so that the button can't fly away. And now we need to find the position for the hole. I think I need to somehow eyeball that. I will test with my needle if I can come through here. That works. I don't want the hole to be too big. And now the challenge is to get these on there somehow. So I put the thread to the needle and then bring that through here. And then we have this little loop here so that we can take these. I've taken 3 of them. I think that should be enough. And I bring them through here so that I can hold all of them here like so. Then I add a little bit of collage medium here. Try to bring this in a good position. And I'm pulling the thread from the other side. And now we need another button. I think it looks nice when here are some bigger buttons on the inside of the cover. And make a knot. What do we think about this solution? I'm absolutely in love with this. So this is what I have now. And I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. And I'm pretty sure even if you don't have exactly these, you can find something in your stash which you could use for making these poppy flowers. I'm pretty sure there are many more options to create something really unique and interesting. Like with nearly everything in life, the last one gives us a little problem. And I quickly wanted to mention that if you want to do this thing with the buttons in your journal as well, please make sure that you don't do that on the spine. We can't have a button on the spine for several reasons. We want to make a hidden spine. At least I want to make a hidden spine, and if you want to craft along, then you want perhaps to do that as well. And later, meaning in the next step, in the next video, we will add something here. And if I have a button here, I can't glue the signatures in anymore. Yeah? That would be a problem. So what I was thinking is we can just take this and later on we will cover the whole inside of the spine up with something. So that means no matter what we do there now, it will not be visible in the end. So we can just take this, fiddle this through here, like exactly like with the others as well. Collage medium. And now I'm going to let the collage medium dry completely first before I do anything else. Okay, so it's a while later. I think this should be dry enough to go on. So I now turn this around. Then I want to add a little bit of the collage medium here as well, so that there's some of that in this little hole. I will cut this a little shorter. Put collage medium under the thread. I will just secure it with a little bit of fabric tape. This is the linen tape by Ideology. It's a little bit sad that I need to use this here now because it will be covered up later, but it does the job because this is you know, it's fabric, and I can easily glue the piece with the signatures in here later without any problems, because my bookbinder's glue will dry on this. Then I also realized that I quickly need to remove this label here, slash the brads, because I totally forgot that we will glue the signatures over here later, and then I can't remove these anymore. So with that, I also can't bring the little paper in here, which I want to have in here. So I will quickly do that. I will cut 2 pieces of paper and put them behind here. I'm thinking I still have this paper laying around here. This was one of the pages I had left over, and I think that's the perfect color and the perfect thing. So I will quickly do that. So then I want that we can see the tips of these a little better, and that the center of the poppy flowers comes out better, but I don't want to make them lighter, and that is a problem. I mean, we did this to make them darker, right? So what I'm going to do is I want to take the tiniest little bit of frayed burlap distress paint. Where is my fancy brush now? Oh, here. Then I'm going to take a makeup brush. To be honest, this is my only makeup brush I have. I take the tiniest, and yes, I've picked it from my bathroom. Normally I don't put makeup on my face, but there are those days, you know, sometimes you do that, even if you don't do it. And then I want to try to dry brush over this. And at this point there goes the biggest shout out to Nunika, because she is the one who told me to use such a fluffy brush for dry brushing. Okay, these are not completely sturdy on here. I will fix that problem later. I will probably put some more collage medium under here. That's not so nice, but that is a fixable problem. Oh, no, this is just genius. I don't know if you can see the difference in the camera, but with my eyes I can see that very clearly. It's genius. That is genius. Because I always had problems when I used a normal brush for dry brushing, that I had too much of the paint on the brush and it was too rough somehow, the result, I mean. But this is genius. We could even think about the tiniest little bit of white. I think that should be no problem. Where's my white acrylic paint? Oh, or let's take some of this, which we used here. That is also good.
The ceremonies we used to share, every line a whisper, a memory to renew. Send them to me, your letters from Poppy Field Avenue. The cobblestones remember us, though now they hum alone. I keep your words inside my coat, the corners worn and frayed. My footsteps lost beneath the haze of the silver moon. But your love in those words will never fade.
Here we go. This looks so cool. How crazy is that? Just such a tiny little detail, and it's such a crazily big difference. I nearly can't believe that. Crazy. I think I want to add a few splatters. And I think we're going to use the rest of the frayed burlap here. Perhaps even mixed with this lighter color there. Why not? Will this bleed? Don't bleed. Please just dry, don't bleed. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I'm on the safe side. Holy cow. That was dangerous. Somehow it looks like it wants to bleed. Is that an illusion or what is that? So I will quickly do this and carefully go over this. I can't do that too much with my heat tool because, you know, I don't want to melt these. But I think a little bit should be enough to avoid that they lose their shape. Okay, this is finished. This is definitely finished now. Holy cow. So, here we go. Poppyfield Avenue junk journal cover. I'm really hoping that you could get some inspiration from this, and the biggest thing I'm hoping for is that you could see that something like this, yeah, on the one hand needs a special type of time, not necessarily the time itself, but time for getting new ideas for the next steps, time for developing things also, and time to somehow also process what's happening at the moment at the desk. Yeah, because I think making a junk journal cover is always something really exciting, something where you also might want to take a little more time than for other things, but not because of taking the time itself, but because it needs the time. Yeah, it needs the time to develop. And I'm really hoping that you could see that with this video and that you enjoyed the process perhaps a little bit as well. And perhaps you want to try something like this with your own mediums and materials. And if you want to see how we bring the signatures into this cover, then please stay tuned. We will do that in the next video. Have a very great and creative day and see you the next time. Bye.